Hi, hello photographers and viewers. It was quite a bit of time that I didn't do a video, and I just decided that it was time to return doing my videos. And today I'm going to talk about the Fujica Auto M, and it's a rangefinder camera, 35 millimeters film, and this quite quirky camera, and has got some special features that I would like to show you guys if you're interested to buy one of these. They are not very common. Time to time they come up on eBay. But they are quite interesting cameras, very sharp lens, and the quality of the image is quite good. And if you're looking for an affordable, quite cheap rangefinder camera for street photography, for example, this one could be the one for you. It's quite sharp, this one. I just tested one film and the photographs came up very sharp. The focusing ring is quite short, it's quite fast. You just turn on both sides and very fast focus, which can be useful for street photography. However, when I shoot street photography, I would pre-focus. I use the pre-focus settings, like using the aperture, and then I will make sure that the depth of field is enough, and I prepare the camera with apertures like 8, 11 in order to have a good depth of field. Anyway, this one has got a few shutter speeds incorporated here on the lens. So the lowest shutter speed is 1/30th of the second, and I'm not sure if, yeah, it's more visible now. So it started 1/30th of the second, going to 1/60th of the second, all the way up 1/500, so 500th of the second, which is the fastest shutter speed. Has got the function, auto function as well. I think you could see that. Well, my light possibly is not very well set up for this, but there's an auto that you can put the camera and all the shutter speed and aperture is going to, the camera is going to read the light here on the light meter. It's incorporated in the camera. Actually, in this case the protection is broken, but still is metering the light, which is good. Now, this particular camera has got some interesting features. This button here is actually to unblock, but we only can really change the settings, especially the apertures, because the shutter speed we can move when the camera is on auto setting. We are able to move the shutter speeds around, but the apertures we only can really change them when the shutter is cocked. So when we cock the shutters, then the camera allow us to move the apertures. However, this tiny button here is for us to press down and to unblock the system of the apertures, taking from the auto position and accessing the aperture manually. Then we can move. If I shut now, if I press the shutter, now to move the aperture again, it is, so is this I'm trying to move it, but it's not actually moving because the shutter is not cocked. We need to advance the film and cock the shutter in order then to move the apertures again, which I think it's, in a way, it's quite good because it's a safety measure, and so it's only possible to move the apertures when the shutter is cocked. Now, there's when we are working with this camera on auto position, it blocks and we can't move anymore unless we press, of course, this little button here, pressing down, and then it's moving to auto. And now it's fixed, this is not moving anymore from auto. When we need to do some corrections in terms of exposure, we've got the button, the exposure button here, which can help without the need to unblock the auto position and looking for the right aperture. We can compensate on the top here, which is useful for street photography, where the action can happen very fast. So on the bottom, actually, I think you notice already that the advance of the film and the cocking the shutter and advancing the film is actually at the bottom of the camera, not at the top, like normally most part of cameras do, but this one is on the bottom. Some cameras, like old models like Canons, they've got this system, which is quirky, but it's interesting because we actually can work well, like pointing the camera, advancing quick, and shutting and pressing the shutter speed. This camera has got a peculiar way of working, because when the light is quite low and it's not enough, actually it doesn't take any photographs. We press the shutter, but it blocks when the camera measures the light and the light is not enough to take a photograph. Even if we move to the lowest of the shutter speeds, it's not possible to, now I'm in auto, but if I'm opening the camera to the maximum aperture, even if I go manually looking for the lowest shutter speed, but if the light is not enough, in this case, because the lens is fully open, still is able to shoot, to make the shot. But when I prepare the camera again, and if I put, let's say, f11, if I point to the same direction, so still is doing, because the light is quite bright now inside of the room where I'm doing this film. But when the light is quite low, which I can shut the curtain here, if I shut the curtain, the light now is really low, so I've got a setting of, let's say, f16, shutter speed 250. I don't know if you can see now. If I press the shutter on, I mean on auto, it doesn't. If I turn the camera to the light over there, it's actually making the picture, because pointing to the... Okay guys, thank you very much for following me in this analysis or presentation of the Fujica 35 Auto M. Fujica 35 Auto M. So that's the camera for you if you would like to shoot some street photography, if you're interested on that. Just give some ideas about what you can get quite affordable, sharp lens. What is very important in the end of the day, the lens plays a big part on the quality of our photographs, so I recommend this one. It's quite good lens, and the camera is quite simple to operate, while it's a bit quirky in its way that is working. But once you get the way that you can work with this camera, is quite straightforward. There's some useful features in terms of preventing accidents, like not changing the apertures while is in auto, which it can prevent some wrong exposures. And it's quite a good camera, guys. I would recommend this one. And soon I will post a different video about a Kodak camera 100 years old, so be aware that soon this video will come out. Okay, see you soon, guys. Bye.